Okay, we are now recording. This meeting is being recorded. This is the VOLTHA FCAPS and Pod Management Brigade meeting for February 3rd, 2020. This is a public meeting and this video will be made available on our YouTube channel. So please keep your discussions consistent with a public meeting. I have the agenda up on the screen. We don't have any major topics, but we will, as usual, do status reports. Starting with Dev Malya. Would you like to give your status, Dev Malya?
Yeah, hi. Hi everyone. So I don't have much of an update today. So I have started out with VOL 892, that is ONU deactivation failure alarm. So I have started making some code changes for it. Mainly in the VOLTA proto files. That's it from my side.
Yeah, so you say something needed to be changed in the VOLTA proto files on it?
Yeah, so that the indication message needs to be added.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, thanks for taking on the alarm issues. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I know in the past Naga has done several of them, but I'm not sure if he's able to continue with those issues or not. So we'll probably be assigning these issues throughout the brigade. So these alarm stories are high priority things for people to pick up. If anyone is looking for an issue, let me know and I can try to find an alarm story that's good. Thank you for that status, Dev Malya. Next up would be Dilip.
Hi.
Good morning, Dilip.
Hi. Last week, I managed to close this long pending work item, the VOL 941. So I added the summary information, and because it had 10 sub task, and then the last one, the 10th one, was more development of the agent code, which is needs Broadcom SDK support. So I made that as a separate task, and that is assigned to Jason. He's in the agent developer of Edge Core in Taiwan. That was already before assigned to him as well. So I just moved it as a separate task. Since all other subtasks were addressed, and then I put a good like a closure comment to see what were the different the layer 2 the points where we have to on system has to be the PM has to be collected, and all this information is in the closure report. So I added all those information and closed the 941. So apart from that,
So just finishing up the discussion on 941. So the only outstanding part of this to be completed at this point is the subpart that Jason's been assigned to do at the BAL level. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and then that has a new issue number in JIRA, and we're tracking. Yeah, we decided we'd close this one out and then create new tasks for any work that needs to be done. So the only one of those left is assigned to Jason. So that's good.
Yeah. And like say, as we get information regarding which other termination points we need to add collection of any PMs, we will add that, and also we will report that. So at this point, we have the termination point, the TTTP, right? And as if need anything, like we need like multicast jump port or jump port, anything, right? Then we will add them as we need. So that's the decision. because there is no point having a Jira open which we don't even know what is the requirement are or will be.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I will try again to get a hold of Michael Gasser and see if he does have any additional TP points that he would like to see added.
Sure.
And I see we do have Chip on the call. So Chip, this is all consistent
Oh,
with
yeah,
what you believe as well. I mean, we're capturing it at the PPTP point for the uni. That's the one TP point we're capturing from in the ONU. It looked, when I kind of went through it, it looked like we could capture for gem ports and all that, but the story is not really calling for anything other than at the uni, and it did call for at the pond, but I didn't find anything for a TP point at the pond.
Yeah, you won't find that probably well, there's the gem point, but those would be too numerous to capture. I wouldn't set those up as, just because of the number of gem ports that would be in a system as periodic. But yeah, that PPTP is probably the best location.
Okay, good. Did you have, since we do have Chip here, did you have any questions, any further questions for Chip on this item that could be answered quickly, Dilip?
So Chip, like you said, gem and multicast probably is not needed. And then what about the other side, the virtual 8.2.1 mapper, which is going on to the towards the pond side, which is upstream?
I would probably, just speaking of preference, I would probably look at the Mac Bridgeport configuration data on the pond side as a possible point to periodically monitor. And then in the future, other places could be on demand, but I would try to keep it as small as possible, because monitoring the uni port and then the pond port will probably give you fairly comprehensive statistics as of how things are trending. And I've been out for the last 2 weeks, so I need to still look at those emails that you and Scott have sent, so to make sure I'm not missing anything.
It would be good, to go over the questions we have, maybe as you as you go through the email, maybe like you can schedule one, maybe like either today, tomorrow, whenever you have, you're available, and then we want to close out all the doubts or questions we have, and then either document and then at least close, at least from the logical point of view, at least on the email thread.
Yeah. Let me try to get to those emails today as I catch up on things, and I'll send you a reply as soon as I get. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them that are on that one thread, and let me read through each one to make sure I understand what's outstanding, and I'll reply to you. Then we can do a follow up, and hopefully I can get to that before close of business today, and then we can look at sometime on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe, if we need a follow-up.
Sure.
One-on-one with you, me, and Scott, and whoever's interested.
Yeah. So sounds good. That was what I was looking for the last 2 weeks, and then at the end, then I think last week myself and Scott decided to close this 941 work and create any new Jira if needed for the work which is coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, is just, for us to be flexible if, Michael or someone comes back and says, we really do need something collected at a different point, that we're able to open up new issues and start collection at a new point. But right now, I think it comes down to the operator specifying the requirements of where they want this stuff collected, and we've addressed this story as best we can at this point to collect where they're asking for. So I think I think closing out 941 was the right thing to do until future work comes along.
Yeah, I would agree, because getting 1 or 2 points done very well, and getting operators on how they would like to add to that on a future release would probably be if they can make the proper use case, that would probably be the right way to go.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then like take a look at this closure comments, just to see that like maybe like everything is addressed. If need, we can, it's like more like a documentation, I would say. Right, Scott? We want to keep it like a document to see what was done and what is needed even for future work. So if we need to add anything, we can update the closure comments.
Yeah, that sounds good. So any other status, Dilip, on what you started working on after we close this out?
I worked on this another one, 2470, which is like like we collect the PMs on the three one which is listed on the JIRA, which is the PON optics, OM, CICC, and the unit status. So what this JIRA is saying is that you want to skew the collection of the PM, like some of them are collected like every 2 minutes, the CC, OMC, CC, whereas the PON optics unit status collect every 15 minutes. And they want to skew collection not at like say 15 minutes, like not exactly at the 0th minute and 15th minute, rather than to skew around for all the devices, not at the same time, maybe like a couple of minutes after, like say before the time period ends, but not at the same time. Like, so that's the thing. And like I was trying to collect the logs and things like that. So so like say currently on my test bed, I only have one ONU, so that does not help me at all because it's the skew wouldn't be there at all. So I'm trying to use the BB sim to check find the skew. I don't know if all the 3 of these PMs will be available through that. If not, then I will raise the hardware requirements to see if I need a setup with at least 2 ONUs.
Yeah, I think that'd be best in any case. Once we've completed what we can with BBSIM to be able to have a multiple ONU test bed so that you can see it happening on real hardware and make sure it behaves the same way it did on BBSIM. So I would say if you can get something with at least 2 ONUs, maybe even 3 or 4 would be better, but at least 2 would be great.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Dilip. Let me see. Yeah, we've got Dinesh. Would you like to give your status, Dinesh?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My last week I was working on collecting the minimum time required to collect the data from the devices. I think it's 930 or 890. I forgot the exact number. Yeah, so I will update the JIRA with details what I found. The thing is that there are 3 resources like system chassis and Ethernet switch. We collect the data. So under Ethernet switch, we collect lot of data like 54 ports and its information. So that particular resource collection is taking almost 1 minute. So further digging, I figured out that all the time is taken by HTTP GET, and that takes all the time. So we might have to profile on the device side why it is taking that long, or is there anything we could do. And during this thing, I figured out there were some issues about putting data on the Kafka bus. Plus suddenly one day it stopped. It gave compilation error because Go gRPC has been updated to 1.27. So those are the things I need to patch it up. So I will create a patch and send it and check it in.
Yeah, that sounds good. So of the three system chassis and Ethernet switch, which one of the three was the one that was taking a minute?
Ethernet switch.
Okay. And yeah, that could potentially come down. Have you studied how many like requests that involves? Does it, I mean, does it have to repeatedly query each port separately, or is it just one HTTP request that's taking a long time, or is it many that are taking a short time, or that's
No,
something
I think
to look into?
we query for each port. There are almost 166 HTTP gets we do.
Mm-hmm. So it may just be the number of them all together, with each one taking a small amount of time, but the aggregate comes to be 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
So one thing we might need to address then at some point is whether the Redfish importer is multi-threaded, and see if there's some way that we can do some of these gets in parallel. But maybe thoughts about that could wait until after your status is complete.
I think that doesn't explain it. Like doing an HTTP request, hundreds of those, a few thousand of those a second should not be what they call a big deal. I think the time is being spent on the device itself. I think we should do a little bit profiling on the device side itself and see why it's taking that much. Querying 160 ports or HTTP requests is nothing. It shouldn't take a minute. I've talked to the guys in the Taiwan to see how we can profile quickly why it's taking that long, and then based on that one we may want to go and change the design on the importer side.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks a lot for that summary. You know, I do wonder though with other devices as well. I mean, we have the ability to diagnose this one with the guys in Taiwan, but if we have to support other hardware, I wonder if other hardware may have similar problems, and we may not have as much support being able to see what's going on with it.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's something to be determined.
Let's get some data. I mean, we should be able to get some data on the Redfish to see if it is spending, where it's spending the time, or it could be also on the networking side. I don't know. Let's wait a couple of days to see if we can get this to the bottom of it a little bit better.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So, Dinesh, could you also work on perhaps putting together a presentation on this once you have some more data? You know, maybe with some charts that show the time of each of these three things you're collecting. Just a presentation to the group, and then like a slide deck we could.
As such, there is not much to present. So I was thinking I'll update this Garrett with all the information I found.
Okay, sure. That'd be fine. Yeah, if there's not enough for really a deck or something, just a comment that describes, just to get the numbers down permanently so we have them for the record. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, and I tried 2 devices also, so I didn't see much difference between the time collection. It was almost same.
Okay, good. And different devices, different switches, or different OLTs and such?
I'm not very sure what those device types are. I'll confirm it and write it in the Garrett, which devices those were.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. So once this is completed, what are you thinking of is going to be your next task? Do you have something lined up, or do we need to like fill out a queue for you of expected next things to work on?
I need to send the patch for the Kafka thing and compilation issue.
Okay, and then after that, you're free and ready for something new.
I guess so.
Okay, good. Yeah, you and I will try to brainstorm next task and see see what you should be taking on. Taskin, did you, since I've got you here on the line, do you feel there's any more high priority tasks with the redfish importer to look into after this?
It's totally up to you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll strategize. Yeah, during the week after you finished up these other items, we'll make sure there's something else in the queue. Any other status, Dinesh?
No, that's pretty much.
Okay, let's see. Let me check and see if we've got. I don't see Divya, but I do see Rohan.
Yeah, hi Scott. So actually Divya is not well, so she won't be able to join. But she was working on her GR ticket and she has submitted that for internal review. And also she was asking that the document logging design document which she has submitted. So if like there is any other review comments on that or not, I think she hasn't received the further new comments on that. So she just wanted to confirm like if it's finalized.
Yeah, I kind of gave it a really quick glance during the week, but yeah, let me make a point of giving it a more thorough read through today or tomorrow, and make sure I don't have any further comments on it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was from her side. And update from my side, last week I was on leave. Before that, I had submitted the code changes for 2356 and 2357. So there are some comments from Zach and David on that. So I'll probably by tomorrow I'll update those patches again.
Okay, good. Any questions? Do you have any questions on their comments? Are their comments straightforward enough that you feel you're able
Yeah,
to?
it's kind straightforward. I just have to update those changes. One issue I was facing today with that building while building the changes for the Volta Go actually. There was some issue. I think in Slack also someone has posted that while building the Volta Go changes, they're facing some issues.
Okay, I haven't checked Slack yet this morning, but I'll look around in there. I know there have been some significant changes coming down to the build system from Kent as he containerizes build tools. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of fluctuation there as we get everything straightened out. Or it could be something else, like Dinesh had some gRPC issues lately. So yeah, I'll poke around and see what the comments are on build issues and keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's much actually. This logs also he has posted. I think the same issue I was facing today also.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll look into that. Anything else, Rohan?
No, nothing, Scott.
Okay, next up, I think we have Onkar. Yeah, Onkar, would you like to give your status?
Yeah, Scott. Hi all. So basically, I'm working on name proxy stuff. I have completed Dockerization of name proxy stuff, and if possible, like tomorrow, I can give demo in Volta call for on-demand API service. Hello.
Okay, that would be great. Julie, you're online. Do we have time tomorrow for Onkar to do a demo?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great.
And apart from this, Scott, I did not receive any invitation from Zach to push the name proxy code into the open code repository.
So you submitted a request for a new repo to be created. Is that?
So in last call, Zach said that he will send me an invitation for the new repository so that I can push the name proxy code changes.
So he was going to send you the form that needs to be filled out.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I will touch base with him today, and I will find you that form. I've filled out that form myself a few times when I've needed to create a new repo. So I may have the link, or I'll find Zach and get the updated link.
Yeah, and I have already submitted the patch related to Go repository and OpenONU repository, as well as in PyVolta like PyVolta related changes in Git for review. But seems like I only got reviewed like +1 for the PyVolta.
Yeah, I will take a look at those. I think I reviewed one. I thought you had a couple of +1s on one of them at least.
Only in PyVolta repository changes, I got +1 from Matt, I think.
Okay, yeah, I will look to those reviews and make sure they get dealt with in a timely manner. And we'll try to get that stuff in. Thanks a lot, Onkar. Any other status?
No, apart from this, I don't have any other status.
Okay, great. Does anyone else have anything you'd like to discuss this morning?
No.
Okay, if not, we will adjourn for the week. I'll be in touch over Slack, and I'll try to get some of these to-do items here taken care of. And we'll talk to you all again on Monday.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for the call.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.